So, we'll start. They told you that Starflight would be difficult. They told you and you believed them. Sort of. What they hadn't told you was how grueling and cold sleep could be. How the months and years of your flight would be filled with endless nightmares. Countless replays of every terrible thing that had ever happened to you in a lifetime of terrible things. When the instructions finally arrived from the ship's computer telling the cold sleep machinery to revive you for your final phase of your flight, you were grateful. What you didn't realise, even as you stumbled groggily from the narrow sleep chamber into the pilot's cabin of the Starflyer Ganymede, was that the most nightmarish part of your mission was yet to come, and that you would face it fully awake. Press return. Oh. So let's have a wee look. So this is a cosmic adventure written and programmed by Chris Lampton. You're in the pilot's cabin of the Starflight Ganymede. In front of you is a console covered with instruments, gauges and controls. To aft is the cold sleep chamber. A light is flashing on the console. Well, I guess we should examine the light. It is blinking rapidly. Below the light is a small blue button. Well, we'll have to press the small blue button now. A pre-recorded voice booms down from an overhead speaker. Congratulations, Lieutenant! You seem to have come through the cold sleep with your sanity intact. I don't need to tell you that not everyone does. It's a rough experience, but it's better than spending 10 years staring at blank walls, eh? Now that you're almost at your destination, it's safe for me to tell you the object of your mission. Sorry to keep you in the dark for so long, but it's an extremely sensitive matter. The megaship Armstrong has run into some kind of problem en route to the colony on Barnard 4. We've been out of contact with them for a decade. We want you to find out what happened and report back by tachyon beam. Good luck! So, we have to report back by tachyon beam. So let's examine the console. So the console is covered mostly with digital gauges that allow you to monitor the functioning of the ship's computer. In the centre of the console, however, are 4 buttons. One green, one yellow, one orange and one red. So there's no flashing lights here, but let's press the red button. Because you should always press the red button. The hauntingly human voice of the ship's computer booms down from the overhead speakers. Automated distress signal being received from the megaship Armstrong. That was the one that was mentioned in the report there. Is a rendezvous desired? Immediately acknowledgement request. Right, so I guess with the controls you would acknowledge by pressing the green button. The ship's computer announces rendezvous procedures have been initiated. As you watch through the forward view screen, the stars seem to change position around you. A distant point of light swells until it becomes a starship. As it comes closer, you recognise the mind-boggling bulk of an immense megaship. A starship as large as a small planet. On its side, in large red letters, are the words GCC Armstrong. The Ganymede finally comes to a halt directly beneath Armstrong's belly. So, I guess now we should press another one of the buttons, and I think it's the orange one to lock on. The Ganymede rises until it is touching the Armstrong. A loud grinding noise informs you that the airlocks are now connected and the ships are now docked. Now I think the most important thing when you're going to explore, an unknown spaceship is you should always tell someone where you're going. So we should report back and press the yellow button. There is a crackle from the overhead speaker. Then you hear the voice of the communications officer back at base headquarters, transmitted to you via tachyon beam. You tell her what has happened. She replies, "Please get back in contact after you've made some progress in your mission." Well, I mean, that's a little bit harsh, because has obviously been a disaster, but that's okay. We will need to leave it there. I think we're ready to go and explore, but we'll need to put on our spacesuit. So let's double check where we have to go. So we will head aft into the cold sleep chamber. You are now in the cold sleep chamber. In front of you is a coffin-like suspended animation booth in which you recently awoke from your decade-long nap. To starboard is an open door. Forward is the door to the main cabin. Well, we've just came from the main cabin, so we'll be going starboard. But let's examine booth. Nothing unusual. Okay, let's go starboard then. You're in the storage cabin of the Ganymede. The wall is lined with metal hooks on which have been anchored small objects so that they will not float about in the absence of gravity. There is an entrance to the airlock set in the ceiling and a door to port leading back to the cold sleep chamber. There is a bulky spacesuit here. There is a plastic pouch here. There is a two-way radio here. Right. So, let us get organised for our big space adventure. Firstly, take spacesuit. Take pouch. And take radio. Let's examine some of these items as well. Examine pouch. It's heavy. Open pouch. You can't, the zipper stuck. All this way in deep space for a broken zipper. Well, that's a bit frustrating. Let's examine radio. It appears to need batteries. Okay, so far our itinerary is not brilliant. Our inventory is not brilliant. But let's wear spacesuit. Spacesuit's now being worn. So we'll be going up then into the airlock. You're in the Ganymede's airlock, with the inner door below you and the outer door above you. The inner door is open and the outer door is closed. So let's close inner door. And let's open outer door. So let's go up. You're in the Armstrong's airlock with the inner door above you and the outer door below you. The inner door is closed and the outer door is open. Close outer door. Open inner door. Inner door is now open. So go up. So this has now arrived on the Armstrong. You're in the transportation room of the Armstrong. To your horror, you see a human skeleton dressed in a petty officer's uniform seated to one side of the entranceway, its head hunched over a computer terminal. Forward is a doorway, below is the airlock. So let's have a think here. Will we examine uniform? Nothing unusual. Examine terminal. On the video display you see the words ship's log entry 2,349 period 6 period. Whatever it is, we can't seem to stop it. The carnage is horrible. Most of the crew has succumbed and I don't know how much longer I can hold out. Even now the screams in the distance are hideous. Is there any way to... At that point the message ends. Message quite abruptly there. So let's have a wee think. We'll be going forward. You're in a long hallway running from port to starboard. To aft is a door labelled transportation room. So we'll be going Starboard. You step cautiously over a pair of skeletons that have fallen together in the middle of the hallway. You're in a long hallway running from port to starboard. Forward is a door labelled passenger vault. Well, let's go into the passenger vault then. You're in the passenger vault, a chamber so immense that the forward side of it is lost in dark mists. Lined up to port and starboard are tier after tier of cold sleep booths containing the hibernating bodies of the Armstrong's passengers. To aft is a door. So let's have a look. Examine hibernating booth. Sleep booths. You see nothing unusual. Well, it's running from port to starboard, so starboard. Can we still go starboard? I can't go that way. Okay. Examine passengers. See nothing unusual. I thought we could get a little look at the passengers. Let's see if we can go forward. I don't really want to go that way. The passenger vault is so large that you could wander in it for days to no particular avail. I think we've made a mistake. I think the examine booth. Through the frosty window of the nearest booth, you see the face of a young girl, apparently well and unharmed by whatever has struck the ship's crew. I don't think we should open it just yet, because we don't know what the problem is. So we'll have to have a little think. I think we'll leave this vault and go further on in our exploration. So we're still going starboard. You're at the starboard end of a long hallway. To aft is a door labelled storage. Let's go aft then. You're in the Armstrong's main storage room. The exit is forward. A closed door is aft. There is a wooden box here. Tick box. Examine box. There seems to be something inside. Open box. You can't, it's locked. Okay, so the box is locked. Can we open door? We can. It's locked. Unlock door. Door is locked electronically and can only be unlocked by order of the ship's computer system. I guess we're going to have to find the ship's computer system. So, forward then. You're at the starboard end of a long hallway. I guess we're going port then. Port again. And I think we're going continuing port. So aft is a door labelled stair shaft. Well, I think we want to just continue on this corridor for now. I don't think we want to go venturing too far. You're at the corner of two hallways, one heading forward, the other to starboard. Well, we've just came from the starboard side, so we're heading forward then. You're in a long hallway running fore to aft. Well, again, we just came forward, so aft would take us back. So we're going fore. You're in a long hallway running fore to aft. To starboard is a door labelled bridge. That's probably where we want to go, isn't it? So let's go starboard. You're on the port side of the Armstrong's bridge. In front of you is a scene of unparalleled carnage. Long decayed skeletons in varicolored uniforms are sprawled to all sides, some seated in contoured plastic chairs, some collapsed on the floor in grotesque attitudes. There is a door to port. The bridge continues to starboard. Well, we've just came in that door, so we'll continue starboard. You're in the centre of the Armstrong's bridge. You see a skeleton dressed in a captain's uniform seated in a large chair, its hand perched over the navigational override controls. Examine uniform. Just beneath the collar of the captain's uniform is the monogram JTK. Chai, sorry. JTK. So, can we examine controls? Considering your rudimentary knowledge of megaship navigation, you shouldn't even be thinking about using the navigational override controls. Well, it was just a thought. It was just a thought. Can we continue starboard? You are in the starboard side of the Armstrong's bridge. A skeleton in the science officer's uniform is sprawled next to a plastic panel set into the wall. Examine uniform. You find something in the pocket. What have we found in the pocket? Oh, it's a set of keys. Oh, that might be for the box then. Unlock box. Fantastic. Open box. And something fell out. What fell out? There's a sonic distributor here. So you're okay. So we will drop box. We don't need the box now. We've opened it. And take distributor. Just call it sonic. Okay. Can we examine panel? See nothing unusual in the panel. Right. Skeleton. Okay. Well, I think that's as pretty much there, isn't it? So let us have a think. We will be going port again. And then port again. Port side. So then the bridge continues to starboard. There's a door to port. So let's leave the bridge just now. Okay, let's see if we can continue on. Crammed with debris and skeletal remains of the Armstrong's crew members. Unfortunately, you'll need to drop your bulky spacesuit before you can squeeze through the debris. Now, I don't think actually it's safe enough for us to take off our spacesuit. That would seem a mistake. So, let's go aft again. And aft again. Now we're in the corner of two hallways, so we'll be going starboard. So we're outside the stair shaft, so I guess now is maybe the time to be exploring the stair shaft. So how do we get to the stair shaft? So aft. So aft is stair shaft, so let's go stair shaft. You're in a winding stair shaft leading downward to a lower level of the ship. There's a door to forward. So remember, there's a door to forward. Let's go down. There is a large item of plastic furniture blocking your descent. Below the plastic, you can just make out the skeletal remains of one of the crew members who had apparently placed the furniture here in an unsuccessful attempt to ward off an attacker. Move furniture. We don't know how to move something. Okay. Remove furniture. You can't remove that. Okay, so we're going to need to get down the stairs, aren't we? So let's have a little look at our inventory. Oh, we've got our distributor, haven't we? So examine this disruptor, sorry. The sonic disruptor is made of 2 independently rotatable metal cylinders mounted end to end. Okay, so we're going to have to rotate them, aren't we? So let us have a think. So rotate sonic. You twist the disruptor until it clicks. A glowing numeral 3 appears on one side of the disruptor. Oh, I think that's going to be a countdown, isn't it? So drop sonic. A glowing numeral 2 appears on one side of the sonic disruptor. So I guess we gotta go forward to the door, haven't we? And then where do we go now? Let's go. This is from port to starboard, so go port. In the distance, you hear the piercing whine of a sonic disruptor atomizing everything in its vicinity, accompanied by the sound of shattering plastic. Well, I think we've managed to successfully remove that furniture then. So let's go starboard. Outside stair shaft. The stair shaft was aft, wasn't it? There's a molten sonic disruptor here. I don't think we should pick it up. I think it will still be quite warm, even in our spacesuit. So we'll go down. You descend into the shaft, picking your way past the shattered remains of the piece of plastic furniture and the skeleton that was holding it in place. You're in the Armstrong's maintenance room. Another uniformed skeleton is sprawled over a console covered with gauges and instruments. There is a stair shaft leading up. So let's examine console. Although the skeleton is covering most of the console, you can see a flashing sign at one end. Below the sign is a yellow button. Let's press the yellow button. Nothing happens. We should have probably examined the sign first. Okay. So we have to press this button 3 times. So we've pressed it once. And one final time. You hear a hissing sound from the ventilation system. After a few moments, a sign on the control panel indicates that the air is pure enough to breathe. So, this is a big decision we can make now that we can take off our spacesuit. So let's have a think. We're going to go up then. We didn't examine this officer's uniform, did we? Something in the pocket this time as well. A small knife. So, we need to use the knife, I think, on the pouch. You can't unlock pouch. Now this, unfortunately this program doesn't understand the word use. So let's have a think about what verb we can use to use the knife on the pouch, because I think that's going to be the next option. We should also be very careful not to use the knife in our spacesuit, I think. So let's go up just now. And then let's go forward. Now I think we're going to want to leave the spacesuit in the transportation room, I believe. If there's a door labeled transport, so let's go there. Let's remove spacesuit. You're carrying too much. Okay. What will we drop? We'll drop radio because we don't have any batteries for it. Remove spacesuit. You're no longer wearing the spacesuit. Drop spacesuit. And we'll take the radio again. So, our inventory, carrying a plastic pouch, a small knife, a set of keys, and a two-way radio. Let's have a think about how to open this pouch. Can we slit pouch with knife? You can't open the pouch with the knife. Well, there we go. That wasn't too difficult. Open pouch. You can't open that. Tip pouch. Oh, well, you'll not be very popular in a bar, my friend. So, what are the other options? I feel we're getting sidetracked here, and we should really be going to explore the rest. We got onto a really lucky start with the slit pouch. Okay, let us go further forward in our mission. Forward is a doorway, so let's go forward and continue port. And the corner of two hallways results in us going. So we came port. So we'll go forward again. Forward. And forward. Whoa. Do we think we can use this magnet on the pouch? This is my new quest to find out what is in the pouch. So the hall ahead of you is crammed with debris and the skeletal remains of the Armstrong's crew members. You're barely able to squeeze through the debris. You're in the middle of a vast assortment of debris. You can go no farther forward. There's a powerful bar magnet here. Examine magnet. We see nothing unusual. Can we take magnet? Carrying too much. But you drop the radio. Oh, I'm already regretting this decision. With a bone-wrenching tug, you pull the magnet loose from the metal bulkhead where it had attached itself. And there's a radio. What else is a inventory? I don't think we're going to need the keys again. The pouch contains a crowbar. Oh my goodness. Can we right, hang on. Drop keys. Take crowbar. Drop pouch. Take keys. In case we need them. Right. Now we're getting somewhere. Crowbar, a small knife, a set of keys, and a powerful bar magnet. That's all we need. But it's been a great wee stream. I've enjoyed it. So thanks very much if anybody watched. And I will have a wee think about this and try and see if I can get any further forward next time.